Hey guys, and welcome back. So yeah, we'll just get straight to it here. As you can see, the lining work is totally done. So first things first, name your layers, right? Arrange your layers, group them, do everything you need to do that makes your work easier as you progress. So yeah, I'll just go ahead and arrange all of this now for you to see. Back to what we were talking about in the previous video, gatekeeping and all of that. Yeah, again, that's what I'm trying to do here on this page. I'm sharing sites of my work and all the other extra professional tips in my years of practice so far. So yeah, what I'm doing right now is just like I like to get a base, color for the background. Typically I like working with gradients. So obviously if you know what a gradient is, to colors, or fading away of one color into another and all of that. So I like to pick two colors that work well as a holding color for everything else. So typically if this was a cloud, if this was a landscape kind of thing, I'll probably use blue and yellow, or blue and gray, something, depends on what I'm trying to create. So yeah, I'm going here with purple and brown, a shade of brown. And yeah, this is because we have a whole lot of colors in the work. So I prefer to use something a bit muted, but same time something a bit somewhere in between, because it is supposed to be for like a children's book, so we have to use some color that really works well. Yeah, so once that is established, then we can go straight and start using our lasso tool to get all the base colors in. This is what is professionally known as flattening. This is a flattening process. So you just basically select colors in whole and just group them into one color or multiple colors. Flattening is generally the process that is being used for comics and a lot of graphic material. Comics, you will typically put the flat layer first before you go ahead and detail and add some more shade and light and all of this other interesting stuff much later. Generally the process to illustrating material, it takes so much work, and just like every artwork, you keep working until you think you're satisfied. So yeah, that's but it's a really important stage. And just wanted to say before we go into the next phase, which is the masking of the characters, basically flattening characters, find some structure, whether that is in the form of contracts, agreements, forms, whatever it may be. Just have some structure, because it really helps you in negotiating your prices. And I understand that it's not really all about money all the time, but structure really helps. So that helps, because sometimes when you don't have structure, because you do work that is pretty liberating for you, sometimes you might not see the level of work that you put in. You may spend 2 hours doing something that is really amazing, but you may not feel like you've done something pretty amazing. So sometimes that can cause you to shortchange yourself, charging less because you felt like you didn't really put so much effort into it. Believe me when I say people pay way more for those kind of stuff. People pay really well for things that you probably take for granted. So yeah, structure really helps you. It's just like having a manager or being your own manager. Really seeing the value in yourself. Structure helps you to see the value in yourself, whether it's having dedicated PDF that has a pricing for your work, or a website, just some level of professionalism so that people can treat you how you present yourself. Yeah, so just a little bit of help there. I know it's helped me, since I developed a bit of structure for my work. it's much better to relate with people. You know, artists, we have to demand more than most people, most carriers, we have to demand for respect, and that's just the way it is, because you typically have people, other artists that are, you know, going to somewhat, you know, undercharge themselves with really good work as well, and that would always make your client feel like, oh, they could get it cheaper elsewhere, things like that. But yeah, do what they're not doing, structure, right? And that would definitely help you along the way. Yeah, once the flat is done at this point, I like to create a paper. I realized that the closer you want to get to a real life, you know, you want to get that traditional feel. The thing that is missing in a lot of people's work is just texture to their paper. And that's because on a digital platform, you can't really work on paper. So what I do is I typically put a toned paper over the entire stuff. I set it on overlay or multiply, then, you know, work in some brush strokes over it, some textured brush over it, and yeah, there's textured brushes available to download online. You can check for them. Typically what I do is I tweak the brushes a bit to, you know, fit what I'm trying to do to work for me. If you want to check how to tweak it, check over there. At the left side of your screen, it should be there in the brush folder, and you can set it up as you like. And yeah, so at this point you're just going to, you know, set up the texture layer itself for the paper, and yeah, just brush this in with my textured brush, adjust it as needed, opacity. You can also use a textured eraser as well to, like, you know, fade up, so just give it the most realistic feel. You can't just try your best to replicate the whole real life, you know, Strathmore paper feel. Yeah, and just going over that structure thing again. As much as you know, all of the paperwork is also great to have, a great way to really start having a structure is building community, being friends with other artists and creatives, seeing what they're doing in the digital space. In the famous words of, I think, Borat or Clouseau, no man is an Iceland. So yeah, find your people, find your tribe, learn from people, share information as well, and like I said, we'll keep growing together as a community, and hopefully we emerge better than we have been in the past. Yeah, I hope I'm sharing enough, I guess, and if you're enjoying what you're seeing, leave me a subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.